I was surprised by the Trev Alberts thing because Trev Alberts was the AD at Nebraska.
He's Mr. Nebraska.
Yeah, and then he gets hired away to go be the AD at Texas A&M. That's not the surprising thing. The surprising thing to me is that he has a buyout. He has to pay $4 million to go to Texas A&M.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, I've never really heard of an AD buyout. So I started Googling and researching.
Sure.
And I found a Sportico article that talks about it's just the headline reads, $1 million buyouts expand to college athletic directors.
Okay.
And this was written 2 years ago. A lot of these dudes have major buyouts, and I didn't know that.
Makes sense. I mean, why wouldn't you? Like any other coach has them. Why wouldn't the athletic director?
Yeah, well, that's definitely true. I mean, with the way college athletics has changed and how, big a business it's been or becoming, more so than 10 years ago even.
Yeah.
You would think that athletic directors would be just it's almost like this took too long for athletic directors to get to this point. But in this, they have a list of what athletic directors make and their buyouts.
Because Alberts was making $2 million a year at Nebraska, and you assume with the $4 million buyout, I'm guessing he's got to be making probably $4 at A&M. Money isn't an issue there.
Well, so this is not complete, and it doesn't have all the ADs on here. As a matter of fact, Trev Alberts is not even on this list, so I don't know why. But they've got a lot of guys, including Rob Mullins, on this list.
What's Mullins making?
Well, according to this, and these contracts are complicated. They have a salary, and then they have other university compensation, and they have max bonus.
Yeah.
Total compensation, it says here for Mullins, $1.15 million.
So I wonder if that includes a housing stipend, the country club, the car, all that stuff. Does that? I don't know. You're right.
It just says other university compensation. He gets looks like he's like 21st highest paid AD in the country.
Okay. Because most of those guys, well, not most, all of the ADs at those places, that all comes with country clubs. You get a free car. A lot of them do get some sort of housing thing that comes along with it. I mean, you get other perks. You get use of a plane. Yeah, it's good to be an athletic director at a big time school.
Yeah, they're saying his salary is about $800,000, and then he makes $350 on top of that in other monies.
And my guess is too, like when you want to take your family somewhere, all of the Supreme Court stuff, Pat Kilkenny's plane's available to you. And my guess is Phil's got a nice little house somewhere in the Bahamas that you can shack up in.
You think he uses Phil's houses?
I think he uses Phil's houses. Yes.
Yeah, I think it's good to be Rob Mullins.
Yes.
But that is not. I mean, that's not a huge salary when you compare it to coaches and especially football coaches, but also basketball coaches.
Yeah.
So then somebody was texting in saying, God, I can't believe they pay Scott Barnes all that money. He's like the 9th highest paid AD in the country. He is definitely not.
Yeah.
I don't know where that comes from, where that person got that. He's not on this list, but according to another Google search, he's right around where Mullins is.
Okay.
And those guys are, like I said, not all the ADs are on here, but on this list, Mullins is 21st.
So I'm guessing, like at the private schools, the USCs of the world, you don't have to release anything.
No.
Public schools, you have to release, the compensation.
But according to this, Mullins is the highest paid AD in the Pac-12.
Okay.
At least of public.
Yeah. Public record.
I'm sure the USC, who's that woman at USC?
I forget what her name is, but
she probably makes more. Highest paid AD in the country. Total compensation, $3.15 million.
Going Greg Byrne.
Patrick Kraft, Penn State.
Really? The Penn State guy, huh?
Apparently.
Well, I mean,
his salary's only $750,000, but it says other university compensation, $2.4 million.
Well, how do you come up with 2.4 in other compensation?
That's why these things are kind of screwy.
That is a little weird. Is that? I don't know why you do. I mean, is there some sort of tax bracket thing you're worried about? I don't know, but that's a lot of extra compensation.
See, I would have guessed this guy was number one. Gene Smith, Ohio State.
Yeah,
So he is stepping down, but he is second at $2.5 million.
I would have said Bama, Texas, Ohio State, Texas A&M. I'm guessing Trev Alberts is getting a serious chunk of money.
They've got Greg Byrne at Alabama at $1.8 million.
Well,
that's
actually
good for top 7.
Sure.
Chris Del Conte, Texas guy,
yeah,
$2.4 million.
There you go.
That's third.
And remember, a lot of these guys, I remember that this happened with Ohio State a lot. Every time you see one of the, like they win a conference or what, like these guys get a lot of bonuses. Like it's when teams, and not just one team, but when all these teams win championships and go on and play in big events, the ADs often line their pocket. It's not just the coaches that have the bonuses.
Hot Mike Williams tweet update.
Mm-hmm. It's got to be fake, right?
Well, Buckley has fallen for it yet again.
You get sacked. You get sacked again.
This account had thousands of followers, so I believed it.
That was not Mike Williams. It was a fake.
I have
account.
found another Mike Williams that is, in fact, the real one with 69,000 followers.
Yeah,
not the one that had like 8,000.
So let's retract what we said.
He doesn't
Mike
hate
Williams
Justin
said.
Herbert.
He does not.
It just
hate Justin Herbert.
Didn't seem. What a weird take.
Well, I believed it
to go out.
Well, I believe my guy Buckley.
Well, and I believed the Twitter account because I was like, well, let's make sure this guy's enough followers. I'm like, oh, he's got thousands of followers. It's got to be him.
First, Buckley. What was the last one you got?
Steve Creamroper.
Steve Creamroper. You've been ball sacked twice.
I have, at least.
It happens to in the Iowa, the Ferentz, he ball sacked us all.
Maybe it's time to grab a hold of your little step ladders and go ahead and climb out of my ass for a while.
And you know what? I don't care that that's fake.
Your little step ladders.
It's still amazing. I don't care that that's a deep AI fake. In my mind, that's accurate, and I love it. Someone asking what's the pay to be the athletic director at Portland State? I'm guessing not much.
PSU?
Yeah. I can look it up for you.
I'm going to say $150K. What are you laughing at? It's a good salary.
There was I went out with a gal a couple times who worked in that athletic department. This was years and years and years ago. The story she told me about
I know
what the Mickey Mouse, and it's not anyone. There's just no money.
It's very low stakes, low budge, way more than you think.
Some of the stuff I couldn't believe, and she's like, "Dude, I've worked there for years. This is true."
You're like, "This is a real collegiate institution." Yeah, it's like that at a lot of those small schools.
One of my super hot first radio jobs was doing the Portland State pregame show, tailgate show with Gavin Dawson.
Go Vikes.
And we would be out there at the Kingston drinking beer with Tim Walsh. Well, he wasn't drinking beer; he was coaching, but he was the head coach of the Vikings.
Yes,
and we got to know him pretty well, and so we got to know the inside of that. And I really enjoyed. There was a lot of people around the Portland State program that cared, and it was back then. It was fun. I mean, he was winning. It wasn't the Pokey Allen days, but he had a little something cooking, and there was some interest there. But boy, just put it this way, based on everything that I know about Portland State athletics, and I've said this for years, I don't know why they have athletics.
Yeah.
It's
a little rough.
If you know anything about the inner workings of Portland State athletics, you would ask the question, why are we even doing this? Can you answer that? Why? You don't make any money.
Right?
Yeah, it's so that you have something to hang your hat on, because financially it's a losing endeavor, right?
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you just kind of have to have it, so you keep it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what they're doing out there. I just know that it's a tight fit. Well, I got conflicting reports here because the one here says that it's 74,000.
That could be right.
But there's another one on here. Some local journalist in 2022 wrote that their new one will make 186 and a golf club membership and 25,000 in moving expenses. So
that also sounds. I mean, either of those
somewhere
could be right.
between those two things. I don't know.